Hello and welcome to Bruce Springsteen Guitar Lessons. This channel is dedicated to helping you learn your favourite Bruce tracks on guitar. If you're new here, please consider subscribing and hitting that bell icon for notifications. Okay, so today's lesson is going to be Bruce's classic If I Should Fall Behind. Now the version I'm going to do is going to be based on the MTV kind of Plugged performance that he did, and may come and revisit the album version at some point. I quite like this version. So yes, this is based on the MTV Plugged version. Okay, also be sure to follow to the end of the video, just in case I go through any parts or that aren't in the walkthrough, or suggestions on how to play it differently or other options and things like that. So I'm going to play through the song now and come back and go through the parts. See you in a bit. Hello and welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that walkthrough. So now what I'm going to do is go through all the individual parts. Thanks again to James McGrillen for the request. Okay, so this version is based on the MTV Plugged version of the song, so it's not the same as the album version. I may well come back and revisit the album version at some point. I just wanted to have a go at this first. It's got some really cool ideas in it. Okay, so again, this is my own version, my own take on the song, and I wanted to simplify it as much as possible. So I've put some picking suggestions in there and some strumming suggestions that I think more or less the acoustic player is doing while Bruce is doing some of the harmonica solos. So again, it's my own take, and I wanted to simplify it as Bruce kind of ad-libs quite a lot. So I didn't want to pick it, tab out note for note, because that's kind of a bit pointless because Bruce is going to do something different every time anyway. So chord-wise, what we've got an E major chord, but this is like a broken C-shaped chord. So what I mean by that, it's like you've got C major moved up the neck, so it's an E major, but he's playing part of the chord. I think he's doing something like this. Allows for an easy kind of transition to a C sharp minor chord as well. So fret-wise, open E, 6th fret D, 4th fret G, 5th fret B, and then suggested something like this for picking. Again, he changes it up, but this will work really nicely. So, open E, then D string, then the B string, and then the G string. I'm picking this like this, down, down, up, then open E, and then think he's doing this, where he's hitting the B string on the 4th fret and then hammering on the 5th fret. It sounds really cool. So he doesn't do that hammer-on thing all the time, but again, just for a 2-bar riff, I've done it like this. So this is the first bar, and then the second bar you can just do something like this. So it's really simple. Cool. So can be quite a fiddly chord to play, that one. So okay, you don't have to, that's just an E. You could do like an E bar up there or do an E there, as long as you've got roughly the same sound. So again, what I'm going to do is put this song structure up on the screen now. So again, like I've said with other song structures that I've done, I like to keep it as simple as possible. So for this one, I've basically done, for example, E times 6 means 6 bars of E. But in this instance, we're doing a 2-bar phrase times 3, if that makes sense. So you want to check the walkthrough. So the idea is the walkthrough and the song structure should help you to be able to play it all the way through. So yes, E times 6 basically means 6 bars of E, and then C sharp minor times 2, for example, and so on and so forth. So yeah, nice and simple. There's no split bars here in this song like there is in other songs. So yeah, so you might find it useful, you might not. So, okay, so first verse, again, you've got that 2-bar riff that I've suggested. And you'll do that three times. And then C sharp minor. You can do the same picking pattern, so A, this time we'll go A string, D string, B, G, D, G, and then do the same again. Again, it works really nicely. And you can just do this sort of, keep it consistent with the picking, and then A major, kind of bar it, or you can do it like that. I like to bar it, same as kind of Bruce does. So 2 bars of A. Again, this is the first verse. Now, I think he's playing an E5 power chord here, just by looking at his hands, and also I think that's more what the acoustic is doing in E major. So this E5 chord, fret-wise, bar the 2nd fret on the A and the D string, and then a little finger on the 4th fret of the G string. So again, same kind of picking pattern where we're going E, A, G, D, A, D. Kind of nice thick sounding chord. Okay, and then back to C sharp minor, back to A, and 2 bars of E5. So this is the first verse. Cool, and then the full band comes in and you do it for the second verse, exactly the same. So I'm just going to recap that. Don't forget you can slow down the walkthrough on the actual cog icon in YouTube. A lot of people don't know about that. So, you know, when the tab pops in and out, you can slow it down, and that will help as well. So I'm just going to go through this verse section again. So you've got 6 bars of E, but what I'm going to do is it's really a 2-bar pattern that I've suggested times 3. Okay, so this is the first bar of this. Oops. And you can do that again. But the second bar is slightly different, so that's a 2-bar pattern. And you do that 3 times. And again. C sharp minor for 2 bars. A major for 2 bars. E5 for 2 bars. C sharp minor for 1 bar. A major for 1 bar. E5 for 2 bars. So that is a 16-bar verse. E6, yeah, that's 16 bars. Cool, so that's first verse, second verse. Then the harmonica solo, I've suggested some strumming, but again, it's the same chord progression, so you could do the same picking pattern if you wanted. Just sounds a bit nice to mix it up. Again, strumming wise, classic down, down, up, down, up works really well. So that's 1 crotchet, 6 quavers, but one of them's tied. Again, I've put this pattern in loads of Bruce's videos, and it's one of those kind of like essential strumming patterns. So down, down, up, miss, up, down, up. Okay, feel free to go over to my teaching website, jsmusicschool.co.uk, go on blog and then go on strumming, and that'll help you if you get a bit stuck with crotchets and quavers and all that sort of lark. So strumming pattern again, this is my suggested one. Down, up, miss, up, down, up. So 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it works really well, so you can do that for 6 bars. And then C sharp minor for 2 bars. So this is over the harmonica solo. Then A major for 2 bars. Then E major for 2 bars. C sharp minor for 1 bar. A major for 1 bar. And then E major or E5, doesn't matter too much. I've just suggested E just to mix it up. Cool, so again, structure-wise, in terms of bars, it's pretty much the same as the first and the second verse. Cool, so then you've got the middle 8 section. So I've suggested doing 2 bars of A major. So you could strum it if you wanted to, or do the same picking pattern. So 2 bars of A, then 2 bars of E5. Then back to 1 bar of A, then straight to C sharp minor for 2 bars. A major for 2 bars. E5 for 2 bars. C sharp minor for 1 bar of A, then E5 for 4 bars this time. So again, cool, so I'll go through that again. So this is the middle 8 section, 2 bars of A. Oops. If you weren't comfortable with the picking, just have a go at strumming it using that classic down, down, up, down, up pattern. So that was 2 bars of A, 2 bars of E5, and then only 1 bar of A major to C sharp minor for 2 bars. A major for 2 bars. E5, 2 bars. C sharp minor for 1 bar, A major for 1 bar, E5 for 4 bars, and so on. Cool, so then the third verse starts off exactly the same with the... It actually breaks down in the actual the song, so all the bands sort of stop playing. It's kind of like the first verse, so it's really cool dynamics wise. So that's the same where you do the kind of the funny E, that 2 bar thing. Again, you don't have to do that, you can do something similar, as long as it sounds roughly the same. So that's 16 bars that you had in the first and the second verse. And then basically what he's doing is repeating the last 4 bars 3 times. Okay, so, well actually technically be 4 times if you include, if you know what I mean. So C sharp minor, A, and then 2 bars of E5, and you're going to do that essentially 4 times in a row. Okay, so C sharp minor, A, and 2 bars of E5. C sharp minor, A. I hope that makes sense. So I'll just quickly go through the third verse, the whole of it. Okay, so you've got that cool little 2-bar phrase 3 times. C sharp minor for 2 bars, A major for 2 bars, E5 for 2 bars, C sharp minor, A, E5. Again, these last 4 bars we're going to do another 3 times. C sharp minor, A major, E5, C sharp minor, A, E5, and then one more time. So it's really nice, great chord progression. And then I suggested just do some strumming for the next, and do another 4 rounds of that chord progression, but do an E instead of an E5. But again, that's just personal preference. So with the last sort of harmonica solo, just do C sharp minor, down, down, up, down, up. 4 times. And then it's basically they're holding on the C sharp minor. So 2 for 4 bars. And it starts to slow down. And then everyone's finishing on the E. So again, the song structure that I put up earlier, that will also be in the description. So feel free to check that out. Any questions or suggestions, please let me know. And yeah, so I think it's not too much of a complicated song. It depends how comfortable you are with picking or strumming. But again, these are just suggestions. I think they work really well, getting the overall gist of what the song is about. But if you're struggling with picking, just do the strumming, or if you're struggling with the strumming, go on to the picking. But it's kind of common picking and strumming patterns. It's worth learning those. So cool. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you really liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and feel free to add all your comments. And I will see you next week. Cheers. Bye.